Well, meanwhile, Mizzou's baseball's SEC tournament hopes are now hanging in the balance with just 4 games to go coming into today. Yesterday's rough run rule loss to Auburn allowed LSU to retake a 2-game lead for the final spot in the conference tourney, making today's rubber match arguably MU's most critical game of the season. An LSU win and a Mizzou loss might not mathematically eliminate MU from the tournament due to the 4 teams just 3 games ahead of the Tigers, but Mizzou would need a whole lot of help to close that gap, guys. It is a must-win afternoon for MU. In its final game of the season at Taylor Stadium, a W clinches Mizzou's first SEC series win in more than a month. But MU did not have the hot start it was looking for. Cooper McMurray lines an RBI single into right. That plates one of Auburn's 4 unanswered runs in the first 3 frames. It took Mizzou until the 6th inning to cut that deficit. Trevor Austin sparks a rally, plugging the gap for a double. The Elias alum is aboard to lead off the frame. And 2 batters later, how about this? His teammate Danny Corona says, "I can do it too." Smacking an opposite field double nearly exactly in the same spot. Austin scores. It's a 4-1 ball game in Como. But Auburn responded in a big way again. Chris Stanfield drives a 3-run homer over the back of the bullpen. It's a 6-run lead for the other Tigers in the 7th inning. And they didn't take their foot off the gas today. 1 inning later, Derek Fabian hits a opposite way single. 2 more runs going to score as Auburn has built a 9-1 lead in the 8th. But buckle up, MU has a way of making these things interesting. Home half of the 8th, Jedier Hernandez sneaks an RBI single up the middle, starts a big-time Mizzou rally. 2 batters later, now 9-3, Juju Stevens drives in 2 more, squeezing a hit into left field. Got past the outfielder there, running 2 runners home, and Stevens going to make it to third himself. The Tigers strung together 6 straight singles and scored 5 runs in the 8th, capped off by another RBI single off the bat of Matt Garcia there. Now just a 9-6 MU deficit. Heading into the 9th, what a local game we got for the local talent. Trevor Austin skies a towering solo homer off the light pole at Taylor Stadium. His final home plate appearance at home in his senior season is a long ball. It is a 2-run ball game, but it was a little too late for the Como Tigers. Very next batter, Jedier Hernandez grounds out to first base. That is ball game. Mizzou's late comeback bid falls just short, and their SEC tournament hopes are looking pretty grim. MU falls to Auburn 9-7, losing a 5th straight SEC series. On a brighter note, Trevor Austin made the most of his last home game of his senior year, finishing 4 for 4 and a triple shy of the cycle. The SEC tournament window is dangerously close to closing on Mizzou, but it gives them fuel for the future as they reflect on the tournament race with 1 series to go.
I think they were capable. Were they ready? Obviously not. But definitely capable. We talked about at the beginning of the year of where we were, who we were, what we had to do to put ourselves in a position to do that. And unfortunately, the biggest thing was just play good baseball consistently, and we couldn't do that on a regular basis. And so that's where we have to continue to drive that point home these last 3 games, and then really, really make that a point of emphasis and be very fundamentally sound and elementary when we come back in the fall next year.
Now, after the dust settled today, MU still mathematically has a shot to make it to Hoover, but they need lots of help. Mizzou remains 2 games behind LSU for the last SEC tournament spot, but the Baton Rouge Tigers own a head-to-head tiebreaker over MU. The Tigers also have a chance to catch Florida since Mizzou does hold that tiebreaker. MU is just 3 games behind the Gators as of now. Long story short, Mizzou must sweep Mississippi State next week, and their teams they're chasing must also get swept.